Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your continuation of Week 5, Day 1. I'm going to be your play-by-play caster for tonight. Is Lamb. Alongside me on the desk is going to be my boy Crims. Crims, how are we doing tonight?
Feeling pretty good. Excited to be here. Excited for FOF. First time on this desk here. And I'm excited for casting my first game. How about you, Lamb?
Oh, man. I'm through the roof right now, and what a banger that last one was, and it's full credit to the casting team, production, everything going into that one made it extra special. It was a long one, had us waiting in the really nice green room, honestly, kicking back, having a good time. But we're here to talk about, it's going to be RLS against C9 going into this one, Crims. What do we think about both of these teams? And I mean, I am a big Hecarim fan. I have to say that first and foremost. And the fact that this champion is sitting there right now on my screen has me extremely excited.
Well, I'm sure you're a fan of the last patch then, because Hecarim is newly buffed, has that new sheen, and is absolutely a monster in the early game. Has really good extended damage now. Old Hecarim is a little more bursty. New Hecarim can really stay in the fight with the new W and the new Q as well. They're going to be picking up a Karma on the opposite side for Cloud9 here. And yeah, already I'm liking the Hecarim pick from RLS.
Well, Hecarim is one of those champions that you look through the meta and you see all these champions coming through in the jungle, specifically the jungle. These champions that can 1v9, you pair the Hecarim up with, let's say, a Yuumi, it becomes pretty unstoppable. Like you said as well, referencing those previous buffs, the W, the armor resistance, the magic resistance, everything goes into compiling a typical champion that can go on and take over the game. Now, when we look at this on the flip side, you got the Karma, the Caitlyn, that's a pretty strong poke composition. Come through in the bot lane, there's that Yuumi coming through. I like this already with the Ezreal being able to play safe. The Yuumi can say, you know what, later Ezreal, I'm going to hit it on the pony. I'm going to ride this one all the way to the dub lane. But we know that's not how it works when you're on that rift. You know, everything else comes into it. Team cohesion is a big thing, chemistry. And with both of these teams, especially C9, they're in the struggles, Crims.
Yeah, you know, the 0-8 scoreline's not good. But that doesn't mean they can't pick up some wins, change up the standings a little bit, make it harder for RLS to get that number 1 spot, take away their opportunities, or maybe give Art of War a chance for the 2nd seed. No bias here. As Aatrox has been picked up from the side of Cloud9. You know, they pretty much first picked all their lanes so far, which opens them up to be countered. Of course, they can ban out counters now for the Aatrox, but they've already been countered a little bit in the bot lane. When you go for this Karma Caitlyn, you're really signaling to the enemy team that you're trying to smash the bot lane, and you gave them both counter pick options as well. So Ezreal and Yuumi just going to sit back in that lane, scale up. They might give plates, they might die, but they also have a lot of options to get out of trouble as well. So, you know, C9 really aiming for smashing lanes, and they're kind of leaving themselves up to get countered.
100% right. That Aatrox coming in, it's a strong individual top laner that you can leave on weak side or you can play towards, of course. Any Aatrox that's fed is going to give you a massive problem. And we do see bans coming through. The Malzahar, Lissandra going to be taking away the set, the Annie as well. Obviously focusing on that mid lane, since we don't see either mid lane being picked up here. Of course, C9 will be able to get the counter going on there, as we see the Elise is going to be locked in as well. This is a really nice champion for those early dives. The proactive plays coming through for her. Depending on how you can pull it off, right? You need to try and pair that with something, play the stronger side, whether that is your bot, which you will have full prio over. You'd imagine the Ezreal, the Yuumi is going to be pushed into the turret against the Karma and the Caitlyn, and that opens up the window to go for these Drakes, right? Make these power plays, these objectives become so important. As we've seen in the last game, you know, just because you got soul doesn't mean it's going to be an easy ride. You need to close out the game with these objectives.
Yeah, I mean, getting the team fights at the objectives, I mean, having a really secured team fight pretty much wins you the game a lot of the time before you even get to 4th Drake here. And it really looks like C9 is aiming for smashing all their lanes. They got the Elise as well. I realize their methodology here at Cloud9. all they're doing here is, they got C9, so they have that reference to Cloud9. They have the reference to LS. Now they're picking up the LeBlanc. Now, what is LS? What would you pick if you didn't like LS or trying to be the opposite of LS? Exactly what C9 have right here. They are just dark LS. They're sitting all over the map. They got every champion he hates. They got the Karma. They got the Karma Caitlyn bot lane trying to smash Aatrox. They got the Elise. They got the famous LeBlanc. They're trying to smash early. Don't let it get anywhere close to late game. Meanwhile, RLS, if you make it to mid game, you're going to dominate these team fights. No questions here. So it's the Sinners versus the late sign-up team. That's what I see here.
And with a huge thing that comes into these team fighting compositions, like you said, they're the win lane, win game. That's pretty much what C9 is going for here, right? They want the Aatrox to go, and I mean Malphite is actually a really good pick going into that because you can soak up some of that pressure that the Aatrox is going to give you anyway. Trying to answer that with any type of carry as well is going to be one of those things that you have to try and negate it, and you have to try and switch it up to make sure that you can survive the lane, right? Because Malphite is going to be much more proactive in the sense that being there with your team compared to the Aatrox who just wants to shove that lane down your throat the whole time. But we are in the game here, so
yeah, and we're just going to be viewing the map. A bit of a wonky 5-point start from both teams, but so far no one going to die in the very first minutes of the game.
Yeah, my bad there. Kind of zoned out. I'm new from this. I'm from the Scuff Leagues. We're here, but look, they're looking at that defensive setup. This is normally a strategic point of view for these teams that you just protect the buffs. You make sure that your jungler can get off to the best start that they possibly can.
Yeah, well, RLS actually have a pretty bad level 1 team in terms of like if who was going to get first blood. I would not pin it on them. All the side of Cloud9 are way better at level 1, so good for them to 5-point start. Maybe if Cloud9 had something real cheesy, they could have potentially found a pick somewhere. But they're going to go ahead and start bot side, and Hecarim, War Leader, is going to be pathing on the opposite side instead. And this means that Elise, looking for that kill on top side of the map, maybe an Aatrox, so maybe the Jawa she did, it's going to pick up a kill early. Or we'll see if Hecarim can full clear and War Leaders find some advantage another way.
Well, you definitely got it in one. The Hecarim will look to full clear. That's usually the typical pathing for the horseman running through the jungle. Actually, looking at double camp,
really
that's kind of sad. But Grombry says, "Gets at level 2 and try again. You can only keep trying, War Leader. You got it, baby. The second time coming." He will be put behind a little bit by that. So the pathing Elise. You want to try and keep the timers on that and make sure that you can keep your top side safe. Hecarim a little bit off the pace, but I like the choice of the phase rush. A lot of people end up going for the Conqueror, trying to get into these typical situations that you can stack up the Conqueror. It's not the best rune on Hecarim right now. The phase rush is that rune that you want to take to get in there, dipping and diving, dodging, doing all that nice stuff, especially with the Yuumi attached. It really emphasizes how you can play this champion to the best ability that it can be played.
Yeah, I think phase rush definitely works better for the lane phase. Lets you really catch up to ganks. Stay in there while they're running away towards their turret, and you just keep queuing, spinning your axe, beating them up. I think though Conqueror will be really good with the Yuumi for these team fights, because once Hecarim gets in the backs of the team fight, gets in that back line, I think he's there to stay. Looks like we got some pings going down on the map. Cheeky Blinders going for an early gank.
Yeah, Elise is definitely showing interest here, and they should know that, right? They know that the Elise probably started opposite. You don't want to be the jungler, but we see a trade. Electrocute going to go off. The Ignite's going to be dropped. That's going to send them back. We're going to get some action in the top wave as well. Malphite's going to get dragged back, but he'll walk out of that one. Pressure put down by the Elise. The red buff's going to chip away at the Malphite, but all in all, no summoners expelled. He's going to be in a good position, but Swain did have to back there, so LeBlanc playing this extremely aggressively. Are we seeing a Jensen? Is that a Jensen in the mid lane, baby?
Yeah, someone might get bodied in the mid lane. We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, look at this lane. It's actually pushing out for anti here, which means that Cheeky Blinders can actually go for a regank. Unfortunately, the first gank, they didn't really burn anything, and we only saw the second half of that. So we don't know exactly what happened, as there was mid lane shenanigans going on. But yeah,
Pings go down. He is walking. Yeah,
It's
he's
a bit
going to get the
early.
slow on. But he is.
Yeah, just
I mean,
walking
there's a
away.
wave. There's a wave coming. I mean, it's. I mean, cheeky blinders been extremely cheeky right now. As you see, the Hecarim trying to return the favor on the opposite side of the map. Both junglers not finding any success with these ganks. Although Elise is going to get in there, probably take away that Gromp. So counter jungling, intuitive, trying to get something where you didn't get anything. But we might see something going on here.
Jawa.
Maybe a summoner going to be popped here. Jawa
Yeah,
just
that
going
is.
to walk that one now. You said, I'm not afraid of that one. Pops the potion. Going to stay healthy. That wave is stacking up. So eventually that will crash into his turret. He'll be able to soak up all that. And all in all, the Aatrox is still in a good position in this lane.
Yeah, I think if they want to go for these ganks, though, they have to clear out the wave a little bit, thin it out, because it's really being a thorn on their side. Here you go. Third time's the charm, Lamb.
Third time lucky, but I mean, the Flash was expelled. Does he have enough damage? No, no bite coming through. He's just out of range. So 3 ganks, nothing to answer for that. And at least that's got to feel bad.
Yeah, and look, War Leader is going to be picking up a pretty hefty CS lead. And let's be honest, if the game's even like this, RLS are going to take that, no problems. It's really on C9 to pick up the pace, make some plays, and up their ante here.
Oh, in lane state, I mean, you're kind of seeing basically what we called out, right? I mean, the Caitlyn even started with the call. Interesting summoner choice as well. The exhaust going to be on her. Kind of see this more often than not, that the AD carry opts to take the exhaust rather than the heal. Helps them more and more in that 1v1, but exhaust going into Ezreal, potentially they might be afraid of the Swain damage coming through. That'll definitely help, because if you stick the exhaust on the Hecarim, my man's just going to bust out of that with all sorts of damage, including the Yuumi. So, interesting summoner choice, really trying to get that advantage in the laning phase, but in terms of team fighting composition, I don't think it's going to help him out too much.
Now, usually you do want exhaust if you're going to get dope, especially so Hecarim is definitely someone who's going to try to dive you, as well as the Malphite. But I mean, there's just too many targets for exhaust this game potentially. And the Malphite Hecarim, and you only get 1 exhaust. That may just be the choice. They do get a shove in, and they do have that CS lead. Music Boy is up here in the bot lane, and they're gonna pick up some plates. But as I said in draft, I think this is completely okay to give up some plates and farm, because you're really looking to change things up in the mid game here.
Yeah, you want to get out of that lane at least, going at a dead even KDA coming through from Ezreal. With the Yuumi there as well, every time they get a back off, it becomes even harder to actually kill this duel. And in terms of just skilling into the game, you got it in 1. You know, he's picked up the tier, he's got the Sheen in the inventory. Mana for days. He's going to just be looking to last out with the Q. Stay even at least if he can. He's not too far away from the Caitlyn. I mean, the gold lead is only a 300 lead right now, so it's not very much coming through. We're going to see Gonzo going to go straight in. There's the chain. Yeah, he's going to ignite him again, but that's the second time he's comboed him and not got anything for it. But what he's doing is he's forcing pressure, and he's forcing the Swain out of the lane.
Yeah, Swain is also going to be forced to take bad back, so that's the second one. So that will be creating a CS lead. And I'd really like to see Gonzo try to make an effort to affect the other lanes. You're really bullying out this Swain. I think you got to try to take your resources to another lane and affect that instead of your own here.
Yeah, that roaming potential with the LeBlanc, unless you have the Warden, especially in the early game, it's going to be difficult to keep tabs on her because you don't have that upgraded support item. You see,
huge trade.
Just trading with the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to be on the loss of that one. Music Boy, there is a big wave there, so should be able to sit under the turret. I really like Karma, though. Karma is one of those champions that can always keep you in the game. And definitely, if you get the W, if you walk up here comes Cheeky Blinders, going to be spotted out as well. Empowered.
Tough getting slowed.
Mantra coming through, but that's just it. We're just seeing these guys just size each other up. Nobody's taking too many risks. And Malphite, even though he extended that flash, it's coming up very soon. So will we see a rotation from the jungler in time to actually punish that?
Yeah. You know, interesting we have Tef here opts for the heal instead. I really like to see a cleanse on this Ezreal, because I feel like if you pick cleanse here, who is going to kill you? I don't think there's any way for you to potentially die. You're going to cleanse the chains, cleanse the stun from Cheeky Blinders here. So I think that would be the best way to make sure in the mid game you'll just never die. And just infinitely shooting at your Ezreal Qs, being annoying, harassing, as every Ezreal should be. And man, look at Lamb, there's not even a single kill yet, and 9 minutes in. it's really going to RLS's favor, and they're not even doing that much.
And I mean, if we talk about the league standings, this doesn't this doesn't compliment C9 enough, right? These guys look organized. They picked up the dragon and a hextech dragon going over to people like LeBlanc. You know, the Karma as well with the shields coming through from the Inspire. It's really good going into the team fighting compositions, right? And they want to try and build on that. You want to try and play around that strong side of the map, which they're doing really effectively right now. We see the Caitlyn still got that minor CS lead in the bot lane. Mid lane is relatively even, but the Hecarim is just leagues ahead of the Elise right now, and that's because of those 3 ganks early, Crims, wasting so much time. And my boy, the Hecarim war leader, is running away with it.
Yep, just doing his job, farming up the jungle. Going to become a pretty strong champion in the mid game at this rate. I mean, 1,000 gold up on Cheeky Blinders here. That is a lot of power coming in for this Hecarim that Cheeky Blinders is not going to have. War Leader might just go insane at a team fight. Oh, here we go.
Gonza is going to get dragged back in. Passive from Swain is going to give him extra health. Mimic going to be popped. There goes the sister from LeBlanc. Going to walk that one out, but they called for the Herald and C9 all over these objectives right now, Crim.
All right, actually, they're starting to make plays around the map. War Leader.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the power of the pony. Hit him with the description, Crims.
All right, coming around on the flank, not warded. Gonza doesn't know that they're in danger right now. War Leader comes from behind, knockback. Doesn't even need to hit the ultimate. There is enough damage in the kit there. And, well, they did sacrifice First Blood and their mid laner at the cost of this Rift Herald. And now they're going to have to try to make up for that play by getting some plates.
Well, the whole thing happened because that mirror image passive was already popped from the LeBlanc, right? And they obviously took note of that, said to War Leader, you know, devastating charge in the onslaught of shadows, and it's a for sure kill. And this Yuumi, look at this. This is a boosting prowess to this composition. I love it. As a Hecarim main, baby, that's what I like to see. Yuumi says, forget the lane. Ezreal, soak up all that XP on yourself. Actually, he delivers the Yuumi to the bot lane. I can't eat my words here. But look, they've got it on point. It's slow and steady. They build a gold lead here. They're just up 1.2k on the side of RLS, and they're looking pretty good. But they are giving up a lot of objectives for this.
Yeah, they are as well. I mean, RLS got a lead. They're probably going to have to worry about some kind of crash and dive from the side of C9 here. They can potentially set that up and get a huge play on the map. We'll have to see, because, I mean, technically you could drop it in any lane. All lanes are winning, and they are winning currently. It's only really Cheeky Blinders that's super behind. So I think that that is a possibility. That's an open play on the map. We'll see where they send it. It just might be mid lane for Gonza.
They like to juke it out in this top lane here. Now goes Gonza again. He's going to get the chains down, but not enough damage to kill the Swain. Force him out lane again. Still keeping up with the CS though. That's important for Ruby. I'm taking a lot of pressure coming through for Gonza. You have to respect it. The ignite is there. No flash, no ghost on the mid laner of RLS. And he's sitting pretty right now. He's going to farm up that wave that's going to crash there. We see the shard. Going to get the speed boost. Malphite is going to walk that one out. We see them dueling, but nothing's really coming of it. And like you said, Cheeky Blinders is the one that finds himself behind. And at least early game champion, you want to make those proactive plays, and we're just not seeing it.
Yeah, Elise is an excellent diver, and we've seen Ruby many times very low in the mid lane. Oh, potential kill here. Chain goes wide. But yeah, I mean, look, they could have dove Ruby in the mid lane multiple times. All in coming from Jawa here.
World Ender going to be popped. Jawa wants it, but Malphite just saying, no, I'm just going to say the turret. I mean, you can style all you want, but there's no style points in the top lane. The CS lead's still there for the Malphite, working his way. He's got the Bami in the inventory. That tier coming through as well, so he can spam those going through the lane. The Arcane Comet, try and trade over some damage, especially in the early game. That's going to carry him through. Ruby's on borrowed time as Gonza picks it up. Eventually gets that solo kill, Crims.
Yeah, was looking for it for 13 minutes. Finally, at the witching hour, strikes, gets the kill. And Gonza getting himself a point on the board for his own team. Himself Finally. I mean, look, they could have pulled Cheeky Blinders for that. I think it would have happened a lot earlier. But, you know, why call someone else when you can just do it yourself?
That's exactly right. I mean, he gave it over first time in the hecker.
DIY kill. DIY kill. Do it yourself.
There you go. All right. So, Yumi is going to pop the ultimate already. Devastating Charge is going to land on it. One Cheeky Blind is going to flash away. Onslaught Shadow is going to go over. He's going to hop that one out. Into the brush. There goes the Ignite from Yumi. That shield, how long is it going to last? It's ticking. He's still alive. I throw Mead's going to go low. Gonza's going to trade over. Tev's going to go down. Music Boy finding himself low. You can only have so many targets as a Hecarim. But they do pretty good. The LeBlanc's going to expel the Flash, and they're going to get the back off the Caitlyn, but they might have the proactive plays to collect this dragon.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to give this up here. Multiple members are too low health. Rift Herald just in the side lane. I believe Cheeky Blinders will be picking up the CS if Rift Herald does last hit. So there's one minion too right there. Look at the charge is the big deal.
CS count on Shelly.
Doesn't get the turret, but does get the charge at least.
It's more than Yumi, that's for certain. Oh, okay. RLS. Oh, top lane. Malphite going to find himself on the wrong side of this lane. Darkin Blade's got the combination. He's going to flash away. That's pretty sad, but he's going to get the pressure. Oh, pressure. No kills to ask for. And I mean, they're dead even in that top lane. There's the plant. Going to heal up. Going to walk back and juke it out again. Aatrox gets a free back and Jawa. Oh, hold on. Gonza. Yeah, he's going to go away from that one. Yumi. That cat is pesky and it's in the mid lane.
Yeah, well, fortunately, Gonza has Ignite. So, and in that last fight, you can see definitely has enough damage to burst out Tef right now. So, Tef going to have to play a little safe around Gonza for the time being. But I think we're going to take a look at the gold here. And yeah, Music Boy is up as expected. Mid lane is going to be there for Gonza. But look at this. The jungle. It's getting worse. It was 1,000. Now it's 1,500. War leader is just keeps on climbing.
And I feel like it's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, at least they'd go with the Dark Harvest as well. But even if you take the Electrocute, we've not seen those Elise plays that really make this champion stand out from other junglers, right? You need to try and force people under the turret, which bot lane did, but there was no dive potential because they just didn't commit to anything. And now what you're seeing is the Hecarim is just rolling away with this. He's farming up both sides of the jungle, and pretty soon when these turrets fall, we'll start to see that lead snowball, unless C9 can actually do something about this and keep the jungler in this game.
You know, that is the problem with picking a champion like Elise. Like, your team has to get the setup for that champion to be worth it. They're going to go ahead and start up the second Rift Herald here. And I don't know if they're going to challenge on the side of RLS. I would say you don't really have to. In fact, you could probably just go and trade bot lane turret, and it might just be more worthwhile to do that instead. But yeah, when you pick something like Elise, you really need to have the proper setups that you're talking about. You got to get your team to either push in or pull, set up a nice gank, or dive. And yeah, Cheeky Blinder's not finding effectiveness with his team here.
Oh, C9 opting to move the bot lane up to that Herald there to collect that. And we've seen that similar with Karma with the first one already rotating up there. Ultimate's going to come through from Ezreal. We try and trim that wave a little bit. He's going to farm comfortably here. Max range Q's going down. Caitlyn partnered with the Karma. And these guys haven't looked too much out of place. Music Boy and I throw Meeps. Where's the Bard? Was it banned? I like that username. Oh, it was banned. That feels bad, man.
You think they're going to let that throw? There's no way.
Not with a name like that, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it was banned, unfortunately. Maybe one day we'll see it opened up here, as that Jawa she dated, trying to just continually find Malphite. But it's starting to get to the point where Malphite can fight back. That being said, Eclipse for the Aatrox means we'll certainly still be winning, and no healing cut from Anti. Interesting enough, no healing cut yet. So I put this favor in Aatrox still. Should be able to put a lot of pressure against the Malphite.
Yeah, Mythic coming through. We're reaching that point in the game where these items are being completed. No Mythic from the Ezreal, going to opt for the Mana Moon instead. Still scaling. Still looking dangerous as always. Gale Force going to be completed for the Caitlyn as well. You're going to get in range for that one-tap headshot if you get the opportunity. And that's a difficult thing when you try and siege against an Ezreal who's just out in on cooldown. It makes it pretty obnoxious to try and even do anything. Certainly around those plays as they opt to send. Swain is now in the bot side as well. He's going to match up against the LeBlanc. But here we go. You mentioned it already. Conqueror fully stacked for Jawa. But these guys, they just like, you know, they're just tapping it. They're just sizing each other up. It's a gentleman's agreement. We're going to farm out here. No assistance from the jungler. Apart from Cheeky Blinders, 3 ganks, no kills. It's unfortunate. But it has to be said that the Malphite done extremely well. Positioning wise, you know, walking those ones out and only expelling the flash 1 time through those ganks.
Look, 20 minutes in, 3 kills. Guys, we've achieved LCK status here in this game, as there's just not much happening on the map. But I suspect 10 seconds away from this dragon, maybe a pick for either team would be really nice to see.
And that's what you want to see as well. They're starting to push that vision around these objectives. We see a dragon on each side of the team, and you know, it's still not at that point where you have to throw everything at the dragon to try and deny that soul point. I mean, this is pretty good macro play. They're going to drop Shelly into the mid lane. She's going to crash there. The turret still won't go down as Ruby is called to answer that one. As they circle around the dragon like sharks are looking for a feast.
On the side, they should really find a good flank. If they can get on a Tef, it will certainly be worth time wrapping around. Do they know? I don't see a ward on the backside. This could be an opportunity.
No, and Warleader's going to go straight on the dragon here. Oh, Gonza goes in. It's going to be Demonic Ascension pop for the Swain. We're going to get a fight here. Slight Shadow's going to go in. Jawa's going to go Dark and Blade. That's a lot of damage coming through. Swain's going to fall trade over for the Elise as well. Hecarim, I mean, you see the Yumi is just so strong right now. His Ezreal's just picking off the fights. The last kill. There we go. The Karma's going to fall as well as he chases down Music Boy. Oh, he gets the kill! As the Gale Force helps out with that one, but he's still going to fall, and this Ezreal was huge.
Yeah, unfortunately for Gonza, they were not able to kill Tef on the backside here. 3-1 and 2 now. I suspect that is purely from the team fight. And finally, we have more kills on the board. C9 get wiped, and it's just looking like RLS are probably going to take over the rest of this game here.
Yeah, Tef looking extremely strong in this one. Manamoon fully evolved. Going to get the benefits of that, working away to the Mythic right now. And it has to be said, it didn't really reflect on the KDA standpoint, but the Swain, the ultimate, fighting inside that, it's a death sentence.
Yeah, they didn't really, I mean, they did lay down pretty good burst onto Ruby, but usually you want to kite out the Swain if you can. They kind of just ran right into him instead, potentially in a very, very cheeky
he's stunned up. Oh, he said, you ban my bard, I just wipe you from the map. Karma picking up that one. Good roams coming through, and it's exactly what you want to see. You want to see that support try and give you that advantage when it goes into these team fights, when it goes into the 2v2s. You want that support rolling around, and currently, you know, it's a good pick off from the standpoint in losing that one. And they're going to go on Tef as well. Going to try and run that one out. You see Gonza direct his camera, wants to take us where we want to be. Ruby's going to walk that one out. No electrocute proc going through. Doesn't get the last auto to trigger that. Wet Noodle in the mid lane. They're going to walk this one out as well. It's a respectable duel coming through all the way into this game, Crims. 23 minutes and we're only 11 kills in.
Yeah, definitely not a bloodbath. As what just happened bot side here? We're going to take a look at this one. Ruby probably gets the claw. There it is. Pulls them in. Gonza is going to be in a pretty bad state. Now you got to guess which one's the correct one. And I think that is going to give him away. It didn't need to choose at the end of the day. That pesky TP back. All right, I think we're back to live here. And it looks like Cheeky Blinders is going to be able to escape the Death Horse. Yeah, Gonza got a little too close, and the claw pulls them right in.
Gonza disrespecting the Swain. He lands those. That's the point here. Looking again. Okay. Escape's going to do exactly as the name describes. Yuna's going to walk that one out. As we see Tef just nullifying this mid lane. We still see turrets standing here. That's the important thing. I mean, there's a lot of gold on this map. 23 minutes into the game, only the bot side turret is falling for RLS, and the gold lead is still there, Crims. They're still in touch with each other.
Yeah, I mean, look, so it is gold on the face of it, you say, oh, these teams are pretty close to even. But if we really look at the comps here, we're going to have to say RLS is actually extremely ahead. I mean, the champions do much more in the upcoming situations as well. So I'm just going to have to say, even though gold's kind of close, RLS are pretty much the favorites for the rest of this game here.
Wow. I mean, that True Shot Barrage flying through the Caitlyn just chonked them down to like 30% health. That's got to hurt. Ezreal scaling incredibly well. Essence Reaver's there. No drag back going to come through from Jawa.
Oh, they tried to do it again. They're not going to get it this time, though. You can't trick Anti 2 times in a row. They're not foolish enough for that. Still has no anti-heal versus an Aatrox. I am absolutely flabbergasted here.
Oh, War Leader's doing the wrap around here, and Meeps just doesn't know. He's going to miss that one. Ultimate Mantra is not going to do anything. It's just getting chopped down. There we go. Good stun up. Cocoon coming through from Elise. The Onslaught Shadow's going to secure that kill. Yumi's on top of him as well. That's in a lot of healing. And then Anti's going to follow as well. They pick up both. They pick up 3. And it looks good from RLS.
Yeah, I think this might just be case closed. They finally pulled themselves into a significant gold lead. Jungler's down. They can just take Baron.
It's a smart call. There's no contest at all with the smite coming through as we see this titanic mid lane matchup again. Oh, that one's just going to miss as Gonza walks that one out, and it looks like this will be a for sure Baron going over to RLS as they look to try and close this game out, at least push it so it's out of reach for C9.
Yeah, C9. The Church of Sins. They are raging really hard right now, as I don't think there's much hope for them to win this game. Gonza tried their best, but ultimately it's looking like it's really hard to bring this game back.
5-1-4 on the Hecarim. War Leader is that leader that RLS are channeling through. He's doing so much this game, and really on parallel, the Ezreal is right there alongside him. You really do see these individuals stepping up to the plate, even though the C9 they haven't had a favorable start to the season at all. And they're not taking any chances. They're approaching this game professionally, organized. They've done their homework. They want to try and communicate as best they can so that they can close this game out. And it looks like they're going for that sole point. But C9, teleport's coming in. They want to fight this, Crims. That's exactly what we're going to get. Oh, Ruby's just going to get blown to pieces. You see another teleport coming in. Come on with the unstoppable force. That is Malphite. They bite back instantly. Music Boy running for the hills. They pick up the Elise. That's going to be no contest. As you see, War Leader just leading the charge. Devastating charge. Ithro Meeps has to run for a second tier turret in the bot lane, and they will pick up this dragon.
Yeah, the best they can do is a one-shot on the Ruby and delaying the dragon. I have to say, did not expect Ruby to fall that quickly, but was quickly turned around by War Leader and Anti. I mean, their AoE ults coming in, just ripping through Cloud9. Absolutely making a joke of them as they are picking up their 3rd Drake of the game here.
Baron power play is online. Soul Point is online. This is big plays coming through from RLS to solidify themselves in this game, as they are the team that wants to win this more. But C9, they still have a chance, right? The Aatrox is still a factor. We haven't seen him leave the top lane, if at all. Crims, he's been locked up there against the Malphite.
Yeah, has Jawa even visited the dragon? I don't remember.
Can we get a heat map on the Aatrox?
Yeah, where has the War God visited? I don't know. I definitely been camping up top lane, set up shop. Hasn't left since. And look, Anti's just been there meeting Aatrox at every step of the game as well. So far, Anti really doing well in this matchup, which I really don't think should be this possible.
Well, to touch on it, we already said that the Malphite will be so much more effective.
Oh, here we go.
He is effective! He's a big boy coming straight for your carry. Music Boy gets out of there, but drops the support instead. Look at this man. Doesn't care that you got an inhibitor turret still standing. Has he went too far though? Tef's going to flash that one out. Yumi's got to juggle. Who's he going to go on? Malphite going low. Darkin Blade's going to be popped. World Ender's going to be popped, but it's defensively. Onslaught Shadows going over the wall. They're going to pick up the Elise. That's going to be the LeBlanc that follows. That's going to be the Aatrox that follows. That's going to be the Ace, and RLS are looking to end this game.
All right, who needs a fourth dragon to end this game? So unnecessary. RLS, they're going to strike while the iron's hot in that last team fight, pulling through, getting a 5-0 ace. Clean up this game real nice. And I have to say, RLS looking really good. Unfortunately, you know, C9, they don't pick up that upset win, and their center comp didn't work out for them.
Win lane, win game was the motto of C9, and they did not follow that motto at all. I mean, well, Aatrox didn't. Oh, hold on. They're not done yet. Want to pad the KDA stats a little bit. They're going to trade this lane for the Ezreal. Oh, Ezreal's just going crazy. War Leader still alive. There goes out from Malphite. It's just an anticlimactic end because they end the game. The next is going to explode here. What a game, Crims.
Yeah, War Leader taking the coward's way out instead of dying like a true champion should. Ends the game instead. I have to say, everyone in chat, we should shame War Leader for not facing death like a true champion. But look, they pick up the win, and I'm a bit interested to see the stats. We'll get them for you. We'll say them out. We'll shout them out for you. But man, that was a very strong victory from RLS. I think, you know, we have to say somewhat expected. But we got to shout out Gonza in the mid lane. They did as best they could. Really winning that matchup. Ruby was under a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. You've seen the trade-offs in the 1v1. Ruby just backing constantly, right? The combinations coming through from the LeBlanc, proccing the Electrocute, albeit that the Ignite didn't secure the kill that much. I think it was only a solo kill one time. And really, it wasn't even a story of these mid laners. Crims, you already touched on it. War Leader leading the team to victory. The Hecarim 8-1-8. The KDA just off the charts 16.0. Then we have the Ezreal on the back of that. So if the Hecarim doesn't secure the kill, then they got that insurance policy in the Ezreal. And albeit the Yumi didn't die, Crims, didn't die once.
You know, it is Yumi. Let's put a caveat in there. It is a Yumi on top of an Ezreal. So, famous Yumi hater here on the desk. Look, Tef pulls out the most damage in the game, 20k, with that 717 scoreline you were talking about. Went for the Prowler's Claw build, so a bit cheeky on the lethality there. And yeah, RLS is a strong victory. I think Anti did well on the top side, holding down the fort up there, didn't give away much. And Tef and Escape on the bot side as well. I mean, they only gave away a couple plates, didn't even die in lane. Picked up kills in that first team fight, really. So I have to say, RLS, I think they really understood what they had to do to win. War Leader was like, yeah, I'm just going to farm this out. And then Cheeky Blinders was not able to pick up any early ganks. And then guess what? When mid game rolled around, just picked up these free team fight wins.
Exactly. And look, that's it for this game. But we got another banger coming right at you as soon as this break is over. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see you right after this break.
Hello, folks. Here we are. Interview number 3 of the day. This time with the famous war leader of the Really Late Signup. How are you feeling, buddy?
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that video game.
It was it was fun to watch. Like, honestly, just seeing in the late game, just seeing champions disappear off the screen like really fast in a group.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting when you're not the person getting evaporated, of course.
Of course.
Yes. So let's dive into the game. So, in the end, this draft really, I thought overall it was pretty normal, except for the Elise. This is the thing that stuck out for me. One thing I will point out that I like about it, overall it falls off incredibly hard. But with the LeBlanc, you have the opportunity to try and convert in that regard. At least this was what my thinking was in draft, and it's like, okay, maybe you can path and get something. You can get the Ezreal's flash early or something. Like, maybe that's cool, but that's tough, So my thought was, overall, this draft, I felt like there was nothing wrong with either side. They got a lot of good stuff. Of course, Anti getting the Malphite is pretty dastardly, but so what were your thoughts overall on what this draft looked like?
Yeah, so they threw a wrench at us when they drafted pick comp with the Elisa and the LeBlanc. That's what it shouts to me. And so as they're putting it together, we just made sure that we drafted a lot of champions that were hard to kill. I mean, Swain was the easiest champion on our team to kill, and they killed him a couple times, but I don't know how you get on top of Ezreal Yuumi. The composition they drafted is all about just like smashing in bot lane repeatedly with their jungler. And so we pick Giga scaling, Giga safe Ezreal Yuumi, and we go even in CS, and the Elise doesn't get any successful ganks off in bot lane. And so we're feeling sort of just really good about that. I don't think they played their composition how I think they should have played their composition. And it got them into a really tough spot. Hecarim is broken. Yumi's also broken. And I think that about sums it up, I think. Oh, my top laner really doesn't want to play Malphite, so we're making sure that whenever he casts, he gets Malphite.
Well, it's funny, you mentioned Horse is broken, but why did you make Blue look so hard? Yeah, we saw that.
I know you saw it. I know you saw it because as soon as I do it, the first thing I do, I come to my team and I'm like, "Hey guys, just want to let you know my game is over. I'm fucked." Yeah. And then the second thing I do is say, "Oh, I hope they don't see it on the cast." And so I'm actually, while I'm clearing the rest of my caps, I'm watching the cast on my second monitor, being like, "Don't see it, don't see it, don't see it, doesn't." God damn it!
I was looking at you on the minimap, and I was like, what the fuck? Wait, he's way too far to the left. And then I look over, I'm like, oh! So, yeah, that was...
Yeah.
It happens. Everybody gets one.
I mean, so I throw the game at about 1 minute and 45 seconds. And then we win the game, and I don't know.
Yeah, buddy. It's good. I mean, the one thing that was to the point you're talking about, the Elise not able to get the ganks off in the bot side. There's one gank that is like they've been biding their time, waiting for the pathing to work out this way, where you were on the top side of the map clearing camps, and Elise had pathed the bot side. Tef just had a little trinket off the side because he was alone. I think Yuumi might have actually been mid. I don't think Yuumi was on you. And just he, as no sooner had Cheeky shown out of the bush, he just shoots a little Q at him, and he's just like, hey, yeah, I see you, by the way. Good job. And then I just see you immediately go to his red. I was like, oh my god, no. Oh, feels so bad. So
I mean, I just ate all of Elise's caps that game.
Yeah.
And I if you're the Elise into the Heck Room, that's kind of how it's gonna go if you don't have big prio in your lanes. And I was really confused why they didn't have more bot priority and why I got to do so many invasions on the bottom side. Top side, we have counter pick, and we pick something that's really good in the Aatrox, so it makes sense that we have push there, and we give me the reign to go into the jungle. And as soon as I like full clear Elise's entire top side, and then find LeBlanc going too aggressive in first blooder, I think that game's just over. At that point, their composition has completely failed on what it wants to do. They didn't smash bot lane. Mid is behind, and Elise didn't get anything. And at that point, we just kind of tap it in.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzo did try, to be fair.
Gonzo played really well that game.
Which was awesome, yeah.
I didn't expect the LeBlanc. I know they play it, but I didn't expect them to pull it out, and it looked really good. But I just think the composition as a whole doesn't work very well, and I feel like LeBlanc in most compositions is really hard to play as a team. But individually on the champion, they looked great. And yeah. So after we get that third Drake, and we're just hanging out, I'm just clearing Raptors, and Escape on the Yumi says, "Hey Josh, you want a 2v4?" And then Josh immediately just presses R and goes all in on them, and we kill them. And then I finally get off my Raptors, and I show up, and I ult over the wall, and I'm like, oh, I guess we end. Neat.
Funny how that works sometimes, you know? So,
yeah.
War Leader, thanks so much for the interview as always. Before we step away, though, your final opportunity. Any final thoughts? Any shout-outs? Any banter?
I'm glad Tef got some gameplay in, because the RLS saying is, "I'm Yumi, and you're expendable." And one last thing to say. Another dub! A Ruby League server!
Alright, folks, that's it for this game. Enough's been said here. We're going to take a short break. Back with game number 4.